What's going on, YouTube? I know it's been a while, like 6 years since I made a real video. Yeah, I wanted to start making videos again, and I figured what better way to start than with my new pickup truck. It's not really new. I've probably had it like 6 months now. And since we last talked, or since I last made a video, I've had a lot of cars, and I thought today I'd start with like 5 things about the Tacoma that I like. So yeah, let's just get into it. So this is a quick walk around, and I might throw in some B-roll while I'm walking around it. It's a 2017 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport, and I traded in my 2017 Camaro SS for this truck in June. It's now December, and it's very cold. All of my friends told me I was crazy. Some of them told me it was a super cool move, and then a lot of them, most people didn't understand why I'd trade in a race car for a little pickup truck. I'll stand back so we can get a good shot of the profile. What was on it when I bought it was the exhaust. So you can kind of see there's like a dual muffler delete. It's not very loud, nowhere near as loud as my Camaro was, but it makes a little noise, and we always like a little bit of noise. What were on it were is the 2-inch lift. As far as we can tell anyway, I've had a couple people tell me it's about 2 inches, and we've measured a few things next to other Tacomas. It looks like it's about 2 inches. And then these drop down steps, those were on it too. Not a big fan of those. The one on the driver's side is stuck up, and the one on this side was stuck down. So right after we bought it, we ripped off the passenger side so that I could do some off-roading with some of the homies. It has a cold air intake. Probably not going to show that to you because the hood's cold and I don't feel like touching it. And then it had the wheels, and it came with some like cheap no-name tires that I don't even know where they got them from, because even Walmart didn't sell them. What I've done to it so far is new tires. Obviously, I got the BF Goodrich all-terrains KO3s. I had they're 33 inches. I think they're 285 wide, and I had them put the white letters facing out, obviously, because it looks badass. And I did one more little thing just because I'm kind of a bass head, so I put a 12-inch powered subwoofer in the back seat. But other than that, I have not done anything to it. It is a 6-speed manual. I guess I can just open the door. It came with the aftermarket shift knob. Feels great. It's nice and tight. But yeah, that was also on it when I got it. So here's 5 things about this truck that I love, and then a couple that I don't like so much. So let's get started. Number 1, of course, is going to be the manual transmission. There was 80 of these for sale in the state of Michigan where I'm located, and this was the only one I could find after about a month of looking that had a manual transmission. I got it with like 90,000 miles. It's almost got 100 on it now, 6 months later. But to me, manual. I haven't owned an automatic car in a while, unless you count the 2 winter beaters I've had over the last 6 years that you haven't seen. I had a couple of GMT 800s, but I wanted a pickup truck. I wanted 4-wheel drive, and I had to have a manual. So my options were limited to the Toyota Tacoma or a Jeep, and I will never own a Jeep because they're the worst things that have ever come out of Detroit. So yeah, manual transmission is my favorite thing about the truck. It's super, super, super important to me. Number 2, if we go inside here, is the seats. They're not anything special. I mean, they're plenty comfortable to drive around on. I took a long road trip up north with my wife in it this year, and no complaints at all. Seat comfort is great. But the one thing that I did not realize until very recently, because it didn't get cold out until like 3 weeks ago, is the heated seats on this thing are by far the hottest heated seats I've ever. I mean, it's like sitting in a warm warm bath when you turn on the heated seats all the way. So the heated seats in this thing are like 1,000,000 degrees, and they are wonderful. They heat up quick, they're very hot, and that's number 2 thing that I like about it a lot so far. And these are in no particular order after number 1, so yeah, that's just the next thing that I could think of. Sorry if my voice is a little shaky. It's like 4 degrees right now, and I'm not wearing gloves, so yeah, the air is nice and cold when I'm taking it in. The third thing I like about this truck is I think Toyota really nailed the design on these things. I mean, I know mine's got a little lift and aftermarket wheels and tires, but just the color and the front end, the shape, everything about how these things look, I really, really like it. I think the design looks better than the new ones. This is a 3rd gen with the V6, obviously, so it's hopefully going to be really reliable, as everybody says, for a lot of years to come. But yeah, the color and the design and everything. I saw the pictures from the ad when I found the ad on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna go look at that truck. So yeah, that's number 3. The next thing about this truck, which would be number 4, I think we're on to, that I like, is all the quirky off-road stuff on it. So some of the features that I thought, like, I didn't even understand because I've never had an off-road vehicle before. It has clutch start cancel down here. So what that, in theory, or what I'm told is supposed to be, is like if you're stuck in something and you can't quite get it right with modulating the clutch and the gas, is you can use the starter to creep out of something. So basically you push clutch start cancel and you don't need to push the clutch in to start the car or start the truck, right? So if you push the clutch, or if you push that button and then start the car, the starter teeth will start creeping the truck along slower than what you'll be able to by using the clutch and the gas. I haven't used it for that. I've only used it to start the truck without pushing the clutch in while I'm standing next to it to get it warming up for the winter. But it is something that if I ever need while I'm in a mud hole somewhere is going to be helpful. Maybe something else that's kind of like off-road goodies. I know this isn't the off-road or the TRD Pro, but it does have selectable 4-wheel drive. And it's got a whole lot of different, like, I don't know, manual and 4-wheel drive is really different to me, at least when I first got it. It's really cool. I don't know. I think it's more fun off-road than using something automatic. But like, it has an inverter in the back, and something I've seen a lot of different guys do. If I drop the bed here, there's probably some beer cans back here from when I went camping. It has an inverter so that if you want to plug in an air compressor, you can air your tires down, and then you can plug in an air compressor and air your tires back up once you're done. So I like all the off-road goodies. It did phenomenal in the schmutz this year. It was very, very capable. So the last thing that I'm going to say is, like, my pro. Believe it or not, I'll probably be the only Toyota owner or Tacoma owner that'll ever say gas mileage is something I like, because it's abysmal, right? It gets like 14 miles per gallon, I'd say, average. I do a lot of city driving, not quite as much highway driving, just in my regular commute. So I average probably 14, 15, depending on how I'm driving it. But I have the frame of reference of coming from a tuned Camaro SS in the city. So I'm not putting premium in it. I can put regular fuel in it, and it gets the same gas mileage. So it costs me half as much to fill up, and I still get the same amount of miles. So for me, it's saving like twice as much to drive a truck versus what I came from, because it's cheaper fuel and it goes the same distance. So yeah, that's the 5 things I like about it. Now let me tell you about some things that I don't hate about it, but just, you know, quirks that I've noticed. I had to move inside because it is freezing outside. So number 1 thing that I'm like not used to because of my frame of reference, I came from a 2SS Camaro, so it had leather, I had the heated steering wheel, I had all the stuff that I could ever need or want in that car. So now that I'm in this thing, it's as fully loaded, I think, as you could really get without configuring it custom. I mean, again, first Toyota I've owned other than like shitbox ones, so this is kind of the first nice Toyota I've ever owned. But what I've noticed is the speakers suck. I mean, there's no depth or bass to them, and that's why I added that subwoofer, so that nothing crazy, but just a little something to fill out the music that I listen to. I listen to a lot of podcasts and don't listen to music a ton, but I do like having that option of bass back there so that I can listen to my music fully, So that sub complements it and makes it exactly how I want it. And yeah, so that's the first thing that I didn't really care for after I bought it, but easy fix. Thing number 2 is just the driving dynamic, the power delivery especially. It's not a sports car, it's a truck, I get that. But the way that first and second gear you shift, first gear is super short, to get going, especially in off-road situations. And then second gear is a lot longer. So the shift between them, it's super clunky if you don't know how to feather everything right, and that took me a long time to get used to. And then this motor has the least linear power delivery I've ever seen. So it doesn't get any power in the band really until like 2,500, 3,000 RPMs. And then you can feel it almost kick in like VTEC. So it picks it up a little bit and then kicks you back in your seat just a whisper. And it's weird to modulate that sometimes when you're just driving normally. But yeah, easy to adapt to. Supposedly there's tunes out there that can fix that. I know that there's the OTT tune that I've seen in forums, and then a couple other ones that everybody says is a must-do for these. And it adds a little bit of power in the low end, smooths out your shifts a lot, especially if you're in automatic. It will fix a lot of the gear hunting that I've heard happens in the automatics. So next thing on my list to do is probably going to be an OTT tune. It's just the nearest person that can do it to me is 200 miles away. That'll be someday, just not very soon. And then there's just a lot of Toyota quirks. Last thing that I not dislike, just things that would make me wonder what's going on. One of them happened the other day. So I started my truck and I'm just playing on my phone before I'm leaving work, and I pushed on the brake, and then I'm going to release the parking brake so that I can get on my way. Well, as I sat there, and it's doing it right now, I could even probably show this to you if I take this off the mount and flip the camera. So right now we're sitting, at idle, foot's off the brake. I just put my foot on the brake and I noticed it idles up a little bit. And I was like, that's different, because I've never really had a car do that. So I looked into it a little bit. Apparently it's just the brake booster drawing power from the system, and when you push down on the brake, it engages the brake booster and it idles up just a little bit to provide the necessary power to it. Something no one else probably would notice, but I've had the worst luck anyone can have with automobiles over my 10 year of driving, and yeah, that I worry about stupid little stuff like that sometimes. Since we last talked, I've had probably 30 cars, so with this channel revival, I plan to just do whatever I want. It's not necessarily going to be an automotive-focused channel. I've got a lot of different hobbies and interests and a lot of free time. So, yeah, I plan to just make videos about whatever's interesting to me. Cars is a big part of that, so there will be a lot of car content on this channel. But, yeah, that's all I got for you today. I will see you in the next one. I don't know when that'll be, but hopefully soon. See you later.